What's going on, guys? This is Melvin. I'm here with Jesse Kage with the Kage Collective. You guys may know him from radio. And Kage Workman with Red Door Title. We're getting better with this whole announcing where we work thing. We usually get too excited and kind of roll right through that whole part of it. But super excited. So, we did upgrade some mics. We're still working through some of the mic issues. So bear with us with the third person. We're, technical stuff. We're figuring it all out as we go. But we're here at Three Daughters Brewing in St. Pete, Florida. Super excited to be here. It's one of my favorite spots. I mean, they have pretty much anything you can imagine to drink here, from ciders to beers to, there's even energy drinks I saw out front. So I don't think they really put themselves in a box at all, which is phenomenal. We're excited to bring this episode to you today. This whole episode is going to be about, being authentic in your business and bringing out your true authentic self. So with that, who else to speak about authenticity than Jesse Kage himself? He's built a brand off of being himself. As real estate, it's kicking off. It's absolutely incredible what he's doing. His agents that he has, the vibe that they build around themselves is absolutely just. It's just something you have to kind of experience. It's just so different and it's so wonderful. And it's right on brand with what we always preach with, building relationships and actually caring about the people you're doing business with, whether that is clients or your own employees. So we're excited to talk about that. We're going to kind of roll into it today, and he'll give you some background on the brewery. I think he pretty much lives here, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, we do got some bevies.
I think we should let Jesse talk.
Labels out. Labels out.
I thought you said a different word, and I'm like, that's not this kind of show.
Well, you only had 2 sips of beer. It could happen. One never knows.
Could happen. It could happen.
Do a cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Thanks for being on the podcast today.
Cheers.
So Jesse is with the Kage Collective. I don't know if he said the whole thing. I can't remember. I was in La La Land. But with Kage Collective with Self State Coastal Realty.
Correct.
Yeah. But this wasn't your job all the time. You were in radio, as Melvin mentioned. So we're going to let you kind of take that off and tell us a little bit about your radio show and how it went from radio to real estate.
All right. Well.
From radio to real estate.
It's a long journey. Sit back. Grab yourself a delightful beer from Three Daughters. Let me take you on the journey. So I did radio for almost 25 years. I started radio when I was in high school.
Dang.
And fast forward a lot of horrible radio because I was terrible at it, and then somehow started getting better and better at it, and better, and then came to Tampa. Again, this is a very abridged version. Came to Tampa, did 15 or 20 years, a long time here.
Okay.
Many moons.
Many moons, and I was at multiple radio stations. Most people will remember the Kage Cult show from 98 Rock. I did the afternoons there, so Mandatory Metallica and Cage Rage and all sorts of other things that we had actually talked about off air that I could never do on the radio anymore. And it's one of the reasons I'm not on the radio anymore, because radio got stupid.
They got bubble wrapped.
Yeah, man. Everybody got bubble wrapped. You can't do and say certain things. And a lot of those things, there is a very good reason why you don't say those things anymore. You do grow and people evolve, and I get it. But I still firmly believe there's a place for comedy. I think a lot of it comes from delivery and where it is actually coming from. If it's not malicious, it's different. There's a different way, and that's a whole nother podcast that we could do about that. But
I think we should.
When I went to leave radio, I had a passion for real estate. And a little bit more than just the passion that I was watching property flippers, some shit like that. I do enjoy those shows. Actually, I should say I did enjoy those shows.
Right.
Now that I've been in real estate for 3.5 years or whatever, I don't enjoy that stuff as much anymore. But with that being said, leaving radio and trying to figure out what that next thing was going to be, it was trying to find things that I was passionate about. And I went the podcast route for a minute. And my agent had me hooked up with a really great podcast that I was creating with a buddy of mine who has since passed away. But it was something that politics pulled it apart, and it didn't happen. And that was kind of the end of my radio career too, where politics happened, and I was over it.
Right.
I believe you got to be passionate about whatever you do, right? And my dad told, rest his soul, my dad told me when I was very young, he's like, I want you to do whatever you want to do, but you've got to do it to the best of your ability. So he's like, if you're going to be flipping burgers, you're going to make the best Big Mac that's ever been made. He's like, do that. He's like, so whatever you do, go and do that.
Just can't picture that.
So I wanted to, find what that next thing for me was going to be. And again, getting back to passions, finding passions. I love the real estate market. I love the way that the interaction was still there, because that my entire radio career was built around the Kage cult. And yes, my name was on it, but it was a community. It was about making us all family. We're all on the same level playing ground. We go back to things you can say and can't say. I was the butt of a lot of the jokes because that was okay. Self-deprecating humor is okay.
It's my favorite kind.
Right? So leaving that and trying to find, that next move, it was either this, or let's be quite honest, I've got job jammers, I got tattoos all over my body.
It.
It was this
more.
Hot Topic. I mean, like literally, it's like
branch manager.
Just get a couple, little lip, get the little lip thing going.
Yeah, man. Get a couple piercings done. So went over and I had a buddy who was in the business and got my license. Passed that exam the first try. You can do it too, kids. You can
do it too. Believe in yourself.
Yeah, that's right. It may take you 5 times, but you get it done. You can make it happen.
No one asks you. We promise.
That's exactly right. And if they do, they're assholes.
Yeah.
So, and they'll also tell you how long they've been in the business.
Right. That's how you know. You want to know how long? They'll tell you.
Right.
And so, the rest is kind of history. I like that little argument.
Yeah. We're making it work.
Yeah.
So, here we are. I was on a team. I left the team to manage a team. I left that team to start my own team. And now the Kage Collective at South State Coastal Realty is a reality. We've existed for like 4 months, but we're going to be doing a launch party here shortly in this very building, because you guys call it Three Daughters Brewing, I call it home.
Aww.
So, you will find me here a lot. So, me in the house.
If you're looking for them.
I've closed deals in this very building, multiple.
Yeah, you can get a beer and a home in one sitting.
Buy
Several
one.
beers and several homes.
Several.
It's up to
really
you.
depends on what I run in my contract.
Read the fine print.
So that's me in a nutshell, man. That's how we got to radio to real estate.
Nice. Well, thanks for that little backstory.
Yeah.
What's really funny is I can't get out of my head right now is Hot Topic. I think of Hot Topic. That's what comes to my brain every time I hear that.
That's Hot Pocket.
It is Hot Pocket, but it's the same thing, I guess.
So, Jesse, our conversation today is, and the reason we thought this was like a perfect topic for you, is how to be authentic in your branding. And we're going to make that sound a little more hard rock somehow, but really that's the overall topic, is you're being yourself all the time. I mean, you aren't out there looking like a stereotypical real estate agent, which I love. Like, if I was looking for someone to help me buy my house, I would go looking for someone that wasn't, what are the big box realtors, like a cookie cutter realtor. The experience, we talked about this, people don't always just buy the product when they're buying something, they will buy the experience. And you provide that relatable experience to a lot of people. I mean, you've got breweries around here, which is why we have this podcast, are huge. Right. You're here all the time. You give off that rock and roll vibe. Like, people pick that up. So how has that helped you get from, all of these steps that you were in real estate to now I have my own, literally my own team brand under South State, and it's all like that. How does that serve you?
So it's funny, when I first started, I thought I had to be somebody else. And that was really tough for me because I had been unabashedly me for so long.
There's my favorite word there.
I can't say that one.
I'm not saying it again. Unabashedly.
Unabashedly.
One more time.
Unabashedly.
Don't ask us to spell it.
We don't.
Unique. Being.
I love this word.
You are you. And when I got in, I thought that I had to do something different. So I've got, my plugs in, and I've got the tattoos, and the whole gimmick, which I can't get rid of those, obviously, which I would not want to.
Right.
But I did go out and buy some new clothes, and I've got some, I'm not a big collared shirt guy, but I got some collared shirts, but the problem was I didn't go out and do it the cool way. I did it the way I thought it had to be done, so it looked like, you guys remember that movie Angus? And he wore the big
Why does that
purple
sound so
suits?
familiar? Yes.
Screw him, Angus, but I looked like that. I was like, like a 10th grader in his first JCPenney suit. Like,
Do we have pictures of this?
No,
I would
absolutely
love
fucking
some.
not. Sorry.
Go for it.
I want to see these.
It wasn't me.
Yeah.
And I learned very quickly that even some people around me were like, it's not really
Right.
you. And then I learned that, what in the hell am I doing?
Right.
I learned that I didn't need to be somebody else. That this business is specifically about, yes, you buy leads, you do this, that, and the other to get leads, but it is not your sphere of influence. It is all about your SOI.
Mm-hmm.
And my audience for 20 plus years knew me as somebody, and that somebody was very authentic. To a fault, sometimes. Too much to where, unabashedly, too much, in fact, where, you can ask people in my family circle if they've been happy with all the things I've said on the air.
Right.
Of course they haven't, but I wanted it to be authentic. So now we're really getting in the mud real quick.
Let's go.
Let's get muddy.
So, I was having a hard time, my wife and I don't have kids, and I was having a hard time having kids. And it turned out that there may be a little issue with my swimmers that could cause that.
Right.
So what I did is I'm trying to make this as clean as possible. So back in the 98 Rock days, I went on the air and I was like, well, I read a story on the air that if you speak to your stuff, that maybe you give it, empower it or whatnot. And I was like, well, I'm gonna go a step further. I'm gonna name it.
Manifest.
Right, I'm gonna manifest my swimmers. And so I'm gonna name it. So we go on the air, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna.
You just caught that.
What did you name it?
So we go on the air, and I wanted the audience to name it because I wanted it to be.
That's
take a poll.
Wild.
And so of course you had people call, and they're like, "Oh, name it Thor, or Spike, or any of these things." And then this one chick calls, she goes, "Name it, Boo Boo Kitty Fuck." And I'm like, "Boop boop." And I'm like, "Well, I don't think I'm gonna call him that, but put it on the board." And so I go in, and okay, you're gonna. I gotta be careful about this. I don't.
No, you don't have to be careful.
So if I could do this on the air, I could have done it. Not anymore. I can't.
Yeah, no.
Okay. So I squoze into a cup. It was soap, by the way, but
It
I
was
squoze.
Soap.
Squoze into a cup.
Yep.
And then I had all the names written on the wall on this big plastic sheet, and I would throw it at the wall, and wherever most of my
Stop.
right, that would be the name.
That is
Please
clever.
tell me it landed on Boo Boo.
I
Whatever.
purposely made sure it landed on Boo Boo Kitty Fuck. Yes, 100%. I made it happen because that's the funny one, right?
That's the funny one.
So again, it's going out. So man, that was off track.
I love it.
But bringing it back in, it was
on brand.
It was. I was always myself. I was always myself. So taking that moment where I was not myself, immediately I felt dirty. I didn't like it. And I'm like, if somebody looks at me because of my, black T-shirt or my tattoos or my plugs, whatever the case may be,
Right.
then is that somebody I want to spend time with? Is that somebody I want to work with?
Preach.
And the answer is absolutely not. The funny thing is when you see me, and I get it. They're like, if you saw me walking down the street, now you guys know me a little bit differently. But if you just see me walking down the street, I can see somebody like, oh, there's this guy, he's kind of scary, he's got a beard and tattoos or whatever.
I would think you look like the friendliest dude, actually, because you scary dudes.
Right, and I love that though,
Totally
and I think that's the thing though. So give me 2 seconds.
Yeah.
We can have a 2-second conversation. All of a sudden, I don't want to punch you. I want to hug you, like immediately.
Right.
I'm such a hugger, and again, that goes back. My dad was a hugger.
Yeah.
I'm a hugger. I love that. So I can have this appearance, and that's all fine and good. So going back to somebody looking at me and going, I don't know if I want to work with this guy to sell me a $2 million home. Give me 2 seconds.
Right.
That's it.
And I'll make sure I force that 2 seconds. And you're going to see immediately who I am. And then it goes from, okay, he's not just this rocker guy or whatever. I made sure getting into it, because I knew I would be up against those things, is this business, and I was just talking to my team about this today, this business is about educating and speaking to your audience and making sure that your sphere of influence knows what they need to know in the business, delivered in bite-sized portions that they can consume.
It has to be consumable.
Everybody's different.
Yep.
And so going forward and then having a conversation, it's not just a video or something, it's sitting at a bar and I can go ahead and spout off what the interest rates are today. We're Fannie Mae, thanks for going, and people are like, what the?
Wait.
He knows this stuff, and he really knows
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
You know, and then you go to my, my Instagram at Jesse Kage, Kage with a K.
Kage with a K.
You go to that and you see the edutainment stuff where
Right.
it's definitely out there, it's in your face, it's different than what you're seeing from everybody else.
Mhm.
Not to slag any other real estate agents, but I am different.
Yes,
You know?
are. But
And
purposely so.
Purposely so, yeah.
And then there's brands. Sorry, I totally
No,
monopolized
that's
that entire
No,
thing.
no, that's
It's all me
perfect, because
today.
I mean that's kind of like right on brand with anything that I'm trying to teach to anybody that I work with, and I know we do that together, is the power of being your authentic self, and I think it's easier said than done for a lot of people. A lot of us are afraid. I mean, I'm guilty at the beginning of mine. Everybody knows my story. When I first got into this whole social media world, my reservation was holding back. Oh, do I want people to know that I am gay and that I have a husband? Like they don't want to do business with me, And to that, you all know the story. If you don't, I'm gonna let you know. My coach, the first thing I asked her was that via DM on Instagram while she was at our Fairway event. And she was like, "Why? Do you want to do business with people who don't respect you for who you are?" And I was like, no. Now that you've put it that way, no, I really don't. I wouldn't. So at the end of the day, what I love about being your authentic self is, you're going to scare some people away. 100%, it's going to happen. I'd be lying to you if I said that you wouldn't lose business. It could happen. But the reality is the type of business you're going to gain and the quality. Again, I'm going to preach this quality over quantity so hard this year. The quality of human being that you're going to get that connects with you for being exactly who you are is a whole different caliber than the people you're just trying to mold to be like to get their business. You know what I mean? Like it's a whole different beast. You're going to have referral business come through. You're going to have just things just fall into your lap just because you're not holding anything back. And whether that is your appearance, whether that is the way you talk, the way you move, the way you do, just be unapologetically you and everything that you do, and the rest will fall into place.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people go into this world and we talk about it a lot as these perfectly curated Instagram accounts with the perfect pastels and the perfect little post, and some of them are like,
your Instagram pages, right? All
100%.
pastels.
I mean, all
perfect
pastels.
All pastels.
all pastels,
Calming.
Always a good
flowers,
side.
yeah, always.
I still
And
love
it's
it.
just it's crazy because people think that they have to put on this show per se.
Right.
For business, but that's not the world we live in right now. People are looking for that relatability, the way to connect. They're looking for the tattoos to start a conversation. They're looking for the music thing to start a conversation. They're looking for something to latch on to talk about anything other than real estate, and then segue into that later on once they feel comfortable enough with you.
Well, when you get into the industry, some of the big box brokerages, which again, you work where you work. This is not a slag on anybody else. What
Right.
it is though, when you come in, it's, hey, this is our logo, this is our brand, this is your header, this is what you do, put your name down here. Now look, we all have there's compliance, gotta make sure you're
Correct,
compliant. There's ways to be compliant and be awesome, right?
Yep.
You don't have to just be, I'm with blank and this is who I am, here's my little name badge, which
Mhm.
I hate those little fucking name badges.
Yeah.
It's terrible. It's terrible. But
I wear them everywhere.
oh, it's
You're
terrible.
just gonna get yours tattooed.
Yeah,
on you?
absolutely.
We're gonna get QR codes on our wrist or
Right
something.
here.
Like
It's funny,
right
I've
here.
got Kage actually tattooed, my old logo from my radio show on my chest. So yes, it's
Yes,
already there.
That's
you do.
great.
But with what we're doing differently with the Kage Collective, and this is not going to turn into an infomercial for you joining my brokerage, but call me.
Call me.
It's I just had the conversation today in my meeting. This was about branding. I knew we were coming here, so it was kind of my, hey, let's get this going and get the branding, juices flowing, if you will.
Right.
And my whole thing is I want you. Yes, the logo is awesome, and at this point, you flash our logo up.
There it goes.
Awesome.
You see it?
So the logo is
I'm gonna
awesome.
make sure you do that now.
Okay, is it here?
I'm buying a new monitor.
Oh, I love those. This TikTok.
It's gonna be.
Where is it?
It's gonna be everywhere now.
Oh, we just added like an hour worth of work.
Thank God I'm buying a whole new monitor today because
Sorry, boo.
I'm gonna be busy tonight.
So, talking to my team, it's what makes you stand out? What is your brand? Who are you?
Who are you?
to
That's huge.
your
Who
people?
are you?
And and
Who
they
are
all
you?
have their own little thing. They all have their own. And I'm like, cool. I'm going to do everything I can to support what you are, who you are, what you want to do, the events you want to put on, the sphere that you want to reach. I'm going to help put money behind that because I believe in you. It's not just about my logo. Yeah, the logo's going to be on the sign. Absolutely it is. It's the same way as the Kage Cult Show was the Kage Cult Show, but again, it was the community.
Right.
That was just a name. There's got to be a moniker. There's got to be
something to tie us all together.
Something.
But it's going in and going, look, on our listing signs. There's some people that like it's just the brokerage or just the broker or just the leader or just whatever. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna give you the template of the sign because we're gonna be compliant because I am paying your fines. We're gonna be compliant, but put your picture on it.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to see your face.
Let me see something. Let
Visibility.
it be you. I would rather have 10 agents that are top producers than just me being a top producer or just, you know what I mean? I want 10 different agents out there because quite frankly, that's good for me.
Right.
That's good for the brand. It's good for all of us. You know what I mean?
It's good for life.
It's great
And
for
logos,
life.
it's crazy. I think about logos all the time, and this is something I heard probably last year that stuck with me so hard is, you're a human being. Number one, what are you being? What is it that you're being? And the other fact, the other thing that I heard that kind of hit me hard was when it comes to logos, like you are your logo. Like you can have the coolest company in the world, biggest company on earth with this cool logo that they have, right? But at the end of the day, like you are your logo. So the Kage Collective has this badass logo, but the fact that you want you want your people's face out there, you want them to be their own brand, huge because that's in this market, that's what's working and that's what's helping people. I talk to people all the time. They're so reserved about it. Like, oh, I don't want to do that because I have pink hair, or I don't want to do this because of my tattoos, or I'm worried about what people are going to think of me if I'm not dressed up all the time. It's not about that anymore. The whole I want to use a word, tapestry. Tapestry of our industry it is changing, and you watch what's working on social media. I don't know if you followed him recently at all, but there's a guy that I started following here in Tampa. He kind of, rip off and duplicate. We use that all the time from someone up in Texas, Brad the realtor in Texas, Tampa Turf. He started copying it here, and he's doing these hilarious video walkthroughs that are completely off the wall, not for everybody. It's
he's the
just
one that's just like
hilarious.
Who would do this to their house?
It's just, it's so different the way that he's marketing himself. And I personally have watched him within I want to say it's been maybe 2 weeks. I took a screenshot with the first 3 videos that he did of the profile, and he was only at a couple thousand people that were following. He's over 15,000 followers in less than 2 weeks.
Love it.
But he's doing something different, and you're going to see comments that are like, oh, I can't believe you would do this. But his brokerage is fully supportive, and it's so cool to see them listen, do your thing, man. If this is your thing, do what works for you. Right. I think it's when people put themselves in those little cookie cutters and they try to mold to whatever they think they're supposed to do, they get burnt out real quick because it's not them. They don't feel like themselves. They don't feel comfortable, and then, to your comment about the outfits, then a lot of people go down the path of spending all this money on new wardrobes and new this just to find out this doesn't feel right. And your people will call you out for it. They will. People who really know you are going to be like, what the hell are you? That's not you. What are you doing? That's the last thing you want in any business. This is so universal. I'm helping my buddy here with this, this company here, Evolving Vitality. It's you are your business, your face, your voice, the person behind the interaction. We talked about my little pin quote that I wrote down. It's I wrote it.
You wrote it?
I wrote it.
You wrote it when you willed
It's a little bit.
Why can't you write these things?
I don't know why I wrote it. Oh, why did I say it like that? But, yeah, I mean, did they buy the pin? Or did they buy what the pin produces? Are you buying the pin because, oh, what a pretty pin? or do you buy your pens because you like the way it writes? You
That's
like
exactly
the ink
why I
that
buy
comes out.
pens.
It's the end result that you're really looking for.
Pen story.
I mean, she bought all the markers as soon as I told her about my little markers.
That we haven't talked about.
Oh boy.
Oh, no.
Oh boy. You know, but I love this topic because it just, you know, it's hard to do for some, but I swear to you, as soon as you rip off the Band-Aid, you stop worrying about what people are going to think about you, you're going to be shocked to see what the outcome is.
Well, I do look like a typical real estate person. Like, people will stop me in the grocery store and be like, "You're in real estate." I'm like, "Oh, what gave it away?"
No.
It was the badger. It was the name tag.
Definitely
Oh,
not.
the name tags!
Trash.
Oh, stop
Never.
it. Oh.
I give off that. So I have to do something a little bit different, like, because I do already look like this. Like, I don't have tattoos and I don't have pink hair, but I have nothing against those things.
No.
I like those things.
Yep.
And if I could ever find something that I really wanted, I would get a tattoo of it. That's the hard part for me. But for real estate, okay, I'm a goofball. Like, I am silly, goofy, whatever. When I do regular videos, people will be like, "Are you okay?
Yeah.
Are you okay?
What's wrong with you?"
I know.
Like, are you okay?
Blink twice if you're in trouble.
I know, right?
Brittany, let us know. Chill out with the knives now. Something's wrong there.
So I have to be myself, which is like goofy and silly, but like, people, once they get to know me, just like they get to know you, they're like, "Oh, she's actually smart. She actually understands this business and knows what she's doing."
Right.
I mean, I have a master's degree, and people look at me like I'm, just graduated high school and just kind of like, "I'm going to be in real estate."
Right.
Like, no, I have a lot of things that go to me, so I have to just make sure whatever I'm doing, I just stay doing it naturally for me. And I think that's very hard for people to let go of that business side of, okay, I'm a professional, like, I have to wear this. I do wear blazers all the time, but people think they have to wear it.
Right.
When was the last time you wore a blazer?
I do not wear blazers.
I'm gonna buy you a fancy, like, one with like tattoos on
I
it.
do have what's that soft, like the
Silk, velvet.
So
the purple one?
The black one.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, it's black, like
okay.
that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I have that,
It's your
and
fancy.
that's what I do with, like, my Express jeans and my cool Vans, and I put that on.
These
And
are
that's
cool. Can you see these?
that's my dress up. Oh yeah.
These are his dress shoes.
Those
Yeah,
are legit.
my dress up. So, yeah, but if you just change something to change it, then you're off brand. You're not you.
Right.
You gotta be you. And
Are you
again,
okay?
I think it's like if I think I've said the F word once or twice today already. But listen to me.
On air.
If somebody has a problem with what you're doing, fuck them.
Yep.
It doesn't matter what they think.
Yep.
It doesn't
Cheers.
matter.
Cheers to
Cheers to
that.
that.
Cheers to that.
All the way across.
Your vibe is your tribe.
Dude, I literally, like, Melvin, that was in my, I was literally about to say that. My wife, who's a yoga instructor, says that all the time. So,
We have
yeah,
triplets.
that is, dude, come on.
See?
Yeah.
See?
You know,
It's a thing.
Am I doing this every week with you guys now? 'Cause I'm
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
close now.
Seriously.
We'll do it
Seriously.
here every time.
But no, I think it's huge. I think for those of you that are, kind of on this path of figuring it out, I think a lot of you that would listen to this, I think you've already had this go through your head several times, like, "Oh man, this is not me. Like, what am I doing?" And then you feel like you have to do it because of your industry, or you have to do it because of your brokerage, you have to do it because of some other reason. You're justifying the reason why you have to do something, right? I think, and this is a mindset shift that I think a lot of people need to do, is just realizing, that you have because of what you do for a living now, you now have the opportunity to do things that other people don't have the opportunity to do, and that is be yourself. That is have fun with your videos and your reels that you create, or have fun with your walkthroughs, have fun with your clients, get them involved. One of the videos I shared yesterday in one of my training classes was Kyle Toomey on Instagram. You guys can find him. He does some good content, and his new thing he's doing is including the clients on their own listing walkthrough, and it's super cute because he's got the husband and the wife, and she's doing something in one room, and the kids are playing in the other room. They're all dancing, and he breathes, just kind of blows through the rooms, and it gets them involved. It gets them to feel a part of something too. But on the receiving end of it, like, you feel connected. You're like, wow, that's so cool. That's a family like my family. That's a human being like me. That guy is just having fun with what he does. And I think too much of us are going into our businesses, whether it's real estate or not, with this super hardcore, straight edge mindset of like, oh, I got to be clean cut because this other company is doing that, or this other company is doing it like this. I don't care what the other companies are doing because you aren't the other company. If you wanted to be like the other company, just stop what you're doing, save the money, and join the other company. I mean, let's be real.
There's more agents in the state of Florida than there are listings. Okay?
True.
Wow,
so
true.
what are you doing? What are you doing to stand out from that crowd?
Yep.
And it doesn't mean you're going to win every listing. And it doesn't mean you're going to win every buyer over. And that's fine. That's okay. But you got to get an at-bat. If you're not getting at-bats, you're in the lineup.
Right.
And you're just sitting there.
Yep.
You're just on the bench.
Yeah.
You got to get an at-bat. And with there being thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of agents.
That was thousands.
Thousands. You have
and thousands.
got to make your mark. You've got to stand out. And quite frankly, I don't care if it's good or bad. I don't.
No.
Controversy creates
There you
cash,
go.
baby.
I was about to say, what was the thing we wrote down?
Yeah. So
Controversy
my
creates
favorite author.
cash.
That's a podcast title.
Maybe that
Kind
should
of,
be.
yeah.
Today.
So Eric Bischoff. Maybe 3 of you will know who Eric Bischoff is.
Yeah.
Eric Bischoff was he rose to fame as the executive vice president of World Championship Wrestling. Back in the 90s, I remember the late 90s, wrestling was 5 million, 12 million a week watching. It was crazy.
Huge.
And it's coming back, actually. It's doing pretty well now. I don't follow like I did then. But Eric Bischoff took a company that was never making money, did some different things, created some controversy in those things, and then turned this company around and almost took down the WWF at the time, which was a huge thing. Eric wrote a book called Controversy Creates Cash. And so I read that book, this is a long time ago when I was on the air, and I actually used a lot of that book in my radio stuff. And it's my favorite book. It's fun, it's light, it's deep, it's sad, it's scary, it's all these different things about his journey there. And actually, he just wrote another book called Grateful, which I just read last week, which is
kind of like the progression of that.
It's incredible. I just got goosebumps. I love it.
Awesome.
And I got a chance to meet him and buy him a drink. He's a great guy. But it's true. Controversy creates cash. Now, we're not just talking about going out and, well, Jesse Kage is at $3, so you smash the front window out. Controversial. I don't think.
Controversial.
Show me the money.
Yeah, exactly. But there is ways for me. Look, I get who I am, and I know that there's people in this market who are like, oh, that's Jesse Kage. She said blah 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 for years and years, and so there is, there could be some controversy in that. But again, like we're saying, now they see what I'm doing. They see the education. They see the entertainment. They see all that stuff. But you still have to press it. When I said, it was funny when I started doing the videos, and actually I owe Melvin a lot because as I was on a former team and doing some other stuff, I can't say enough about the Source Group, they were fantastic. And I just untied my shoes, I picked my foot up, so enjoy that.
There it is.
Enjoy that. I'm not tying.
We're not tied down.
Not tied. Can't tie me down.
But I felt like I wasn't embracing the things I should be embracing because, like I said, I was trying to get away from certain things, and Melvin actually really helped me. He's like, dude, you should be doing this video, and it was a lot of technical stuff because I had been doing some videos, but he's like, well, think about this, think about this, think about this. And I'm like, okay, let's start implementing those things, right down to put captions on. I don't fucking know. Captions.
Right.
You do one thing today, add captions
Put
to all your
captions on
videos.
everything.
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 And CapCut is amazing. Go get CapCut, get Pro. It's great.
Not sponsored, by the way.
You're not sponsored at all.
True.
But going out and creating those new things. And I remember the first time I said "fuck" in one of my videos, and I'm like,
beep.
Well, because I can't say that on the air. I could never say it on the air, and how I never did.
Yeah, let us say, how'd you get away?
It's insane.
How'd you even talk?
Very carefully.
Oh, that would be so stressful for me.
But I was like, and I beeped it out the first time, and I'm like, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Nope.
I don't think so, because if
Roll
that
it
word
again.
scares you that bad, then we're not gonna work together.
The interaction's gonna be gonna be rough. Yeah.
Because let me be honest with you, and you guys in the industry, and you in the industry, how many times you called another agent or a lender or a title company or whatever the case may be, and they drop the first fuck, and you're like, oh yes,
So excited.
I can do it.
You're my people.
You're my people.
There's statistics around that. There's a book that I read Chris Smith's the conversion code, and there's statistics around if you were to drop a profanity within the first X amount of seconds of the phone call goes
the guard
better
goes down.
for most. Yeah.
Yes.
It's crazy.
The phone call goes
It's
on.
crazy. Not saying you just immediately, hey, you don't get a lead from Zillion. Hey, what the fuck is going on? I see you love this fucking house. Like, no, we're not.
Taking notes.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. But if it's, you feel out your person, you feel out your people. When you're you can tell within the first couple seconds of any phone call kind of the direction that you're allowed to go and that you're not allowed to go. And if that's something that you don't feel or get, one, you might need some training on like calls. I think I have a little one up on a lot of people because I worked like almost 15 years in call center environments. So I got a lot of training on how to call, how to talk, and how to do those things, but if you're not picking up on those verbal cues, you might need a little help there and figuring out how to like read people through the phone is very different than facial expressions. I mean, when you're with somebody in real life, it's very easy to tell like their emotion.
Right.
But over the phone, it's the tone, it's the inflection, it's the way that you're saying
How
things.
people are hanging up on you and how quick.
That too.
Real quick.
Right.
Real quick. If you've got to make a connection, you've got 2 seconds.
Really.
Make the connection.
Make the connection.
Make the connection. I had last week. I had a random internet lead from Canada, and I called, and I was like, hey, and she goes, and I was like, hey, you were on my website. She goes, oh no. She goes, I put my number, didn't I? And I go, oh no, you put your number. I go, damn, I hate it when that happens.
I hate it when I do that to myself.
Honest, that sucks. And she starts laughing, and now she's in my sphere, and she's looking for acreage to move on to. So, and it went
from Canada to here?
From Canada to here.
Oh,
and it was one of those things where it was, had I not broken that, had I not saved that call, she's gone.
But that's so naturally you.
Right.
To just lean into like that, oh no.
Oh no, I can't believe I'm calling you. How dare I call you from my website where you put your number?
Right.
That's terrible of me.
Right. That's such a cool technique, to use. And even if you don't have that level of like, let's say level of personality, I don't even know what other word to use, but if you feel like you're not there yet, be intelligent. Is there levels to personality?
I'm sure there are.
We'll figure it
you
out.
could probably, dial it back.
Dial it back.
So there has to be some levels.
It's true. Decibel levels.
I've heard that before.
Don't dial it back. Don't dial it back with us. Shoot. Amp it up.
Full volume.
But no, I mean, like, to his point, making that connection at the beginning is huge. One thing I challenge a lot of my people to do is, especially if you're paying for leads, or maybe you're not paying for them, your brokerage is paying for them, whomever, your lender is paying for them, and dishing them back out to you to build some value and to build some relationship there. Play off of the emotion. If you have nothing else that you could play off of the home that they sent you. Keep it simple. Hey, I see that you were interested in XYZ Street in St. Pete, Florida. Tell me why that's the one that you're so in love with. Like, why was that the one you picked out of every home? And then let them do the rest for you.
I was just showing that house the other day. It's a nice house.
Right. Build the connection.
Blew my skirt up.
Blew my skirt up. Build the connection on whatever you can build a connection with, but don't start forcing sales down their throat. Like, oh, well, I'm so-and-so, and I'm a real estate agent, now you can help me. They know you're a real estate agent. That's probably why they submitted the request. I mean, like, a lot of people are approaching these things with, like, no common sense, I feel like. They're like, hey, I just want to let you know that I am the realtor that would be working your lead.
Do you know why?
No
because
shit.
You're walking into a brokerage who gives you your script, and they teach the script, and they do call rings on the script, and you do the script, and you do the script, and you do the script. And I want to be very clear about it. There's good points to be made by the script.
Correct.
Right? There's great points.
If you don't know what you're doing, you need a script at least to start.
Give me a script to start. But it's on me then, as a team leader, to go to my team, and if I give them a script, because again, we all
evolve.
Have
you have to evolve.
And I don't want to hear the script. I want to hear the points of the script.
Right.
Bingo.
Give me my points.
Bingo.
This was always a thing when I was on the air. It's like, we're going to sit there and talk for 4 hours. I'm not writing out 4 hours of material. You write a couple of bullet points and you do the job.
Right.
We have bullet points in our little beautiful book over here. Right?
It's getting famous.
Bullet points
My book
and do the deal.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
Yep.
But again, once you do that, then you're authentic. And people see through the bullshit and they're going to find the person who's authentic.
They do.
I think
They
people
do.
are getting better at seeing through the bullshit because there is so much of it.
There's so much of it, and right now, I mean, to your point, that's a really good point that you just made. Is we're at the part where people now, you know, regardless of the industry, they realize that social media is a powerful tool. You know, so a lot of people are doing it now. You know, people who don't even know what they're doing are doing it, right? So again, to your point is, what makes you different from everybody else? You.
Yeah.
You know, the same goes with this whole AI world that we live in. I'd be lying to you if I told you I didn't use AI on my everyday life. It has changed my life. It's changed the trajectory of how I work. Big words today.
Trajectory, tapestry,
In this
unabashedly.
tapestry, yeah, that's going to be the title of the podcast.
It just flows out.
That's going to be the title, Unabashedly Authentic. Boom, done.
Love that.
You know, but like,
Sometimes you sit with genius and you just have to just be
it's the beard. It's coming like it's just.
Oh no, sir.
Is it your beard or your beard?
Not me. That beautiful beard you got going on there. Look at that.
Yeah, I just got a fresh fade.
Yeah.
Nah,
I remember when I
fresh
could get anything.
Fresh Hey, listen.
You got a freshly shaved head. I mean, I guess that's cool.
I can keep it
When
shiny.
I
Keep it
grew up, I'd be
simple.
like Homer Simpson. It was like 4 hairs.
Yeah,
It's
I'm Homer
Jesus
Simpson. I can't. This is so much
I'll
fun.
do it for the next one. Never have me back all grown out for
Just
a couple
grow it
days.
Or like, can we braid your beard and just have it like?
It wouldn't be the first time. Yeah, absolutely.
My
Like you just got fresh
in
off a
West
cruise?
Palm has this, and I braid it.
Oh, yeah,
I braid it.
absolutely.
We put little beads in it. He's it.
As long as we do like the intro music, it's gonna be like Frozen.
Oh yes.
You know?
I've got a hidden Mickey tattoo.
Great.
So I'm talking my
A
language.
hidden Mickey.
Oh, I don't even
like
know
from
words.
Disney.
We're not gonna try to find out where it's hidden.
I did want to. There was a couple things we talked about. Controversy.
Oh boy. It's got a Mickey tattoo. No, I mean, I think, of course. Oh Lord.
Wait,
No,
wait.
I think. Listen, y'all. Like seriously. I think if any of you are afraid to be, you know, the person that you are in the business that you run, I think that's a huge issue. Personally, I think that's going to be something you need to do some exploring and some self, you know, figure yourself out. You know what I mean? And a quote that I wrote down from last week's podcast, I'll probably butcher it, you know, but essentially what it boils down to is if you're still working on yourself in any way, you are not the person that you want to be. So people use this excuse all the time of like, I'm not who I want to be yet, or I'm not where I want to be yet, or I don't look like how I want to look yet for my videos, or excuse.
Mm-hmm.
We're always constantly working on ourselves, and if you're not, I don't think you're going to ever grow, you know, so you're never exactly who you want to be, ever.
Right.
And no one
So,
gives a shit in the videos.
No.
They don't care.
They don't
Right.
care.
Plus, they don't see
They
it.
don't.
They don't see it.
Like, I don't like my voice. That's somebody said yesterday. We're talking about videos.
I hear that
I don't like my
all the
voice.
time.
I go, I did radio for 25 years and I don't like my voice.
Correct.
So, like, I don't want to hear it.
Right.
We don't. Your
know?
voice sounds different to me. It
Of course
sounds different
it
to her. It
does.
sounds different to you. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
Apparently, they're very docile tones, though.
I like them. Very smooth operator.
Calming.
I'll do Sade all day. Don't even
Sade all
Sade
day.
all day.
That's the title. Sade all day.
Oh my gosh, that should be like a shandy.
It should definitely be a shandy.
Sade all
Sade
day,
all
shandy.
day.
It should be a shandy at Three Daughters Brewing. We're in St. Petersburg. It's
St.
one of the
Petersburg.
greatest breweries of all time.
It's
This guy
huge.
calls it home.
It's huge. It's huge. I mean, cool spot too for like corporate events and anything you need.
I'm doing it then. I wouldn't
I'll-
even call it corporate.
Yeah, no, definitely not corporate.
Non-corporate.
No HR. No HR involved.
God,
Well, could you imagine?
come on.
Shut down. No, but I don't even know. I could go for days on this. I'm just trying to reel myself in. But
Would you like a bullet point?
throw me a bullet point.
Would
Let's
you
throw,
like
throw
one?
me a bullet point.
Okay, so this one I liked because we're talking about what is a brand.
Okay.
Well, one of your comments on your nonsense notes
Mhm.
was what is not a brand.
Ooh.
What is not a brand?
What is not a brand?
Put my thing down, flip it and reverse it.
You scared flipping it and playing yet?
You going to make your logo before you know who you are.
Ooh.
Are y'all writing notes?
Deep.
Chantel.
Chantel's
Are
writing
you
notes.
writing notes?
Chantel's writing notes.
She
for
wrote
sure.
notes for the
Stop
last
it.
one.
Stop
Yeah.
making a logo before you know who you are. My logo,
Yeah.
which is right here.
Right there. Melvin. It's right there. Put it. Nope. Move it over. Move it over. Up there. Okay.
I'm gonna find a really good picture of you, and it's just gonna be your head as a cutout sticker.
I love that.
Find one with him in a polo shirt.
My
Oh my
logo
gosh.
is every bit of my adult life and career.
Yeah.
It's the it's the rock fingers, it's the font. It is 100% what you think if you knew Jesse Kage. It's 1,000% what you think that, right? So
Makes sense.
a lot of people go out and it's like, I'm gonna be a real estate agent and I got a brand. So they hear it. People
Okay.
know. I have to make a brand. So you go on Etsy or where do you get
Canva.
Canva.
Everybody does the Canva.
Real estate. And everybody's got, it's the, okay, cool.
The little house with the windows.
It's gonna hurt. Yeah, they wouldn't go there even. It's gonna hurt because you all have it.
Yep.
Uh-huh. It's the house, and it maybe gets into your name a little bit. Like it's this thing. I'm like, guys, it's the same thing. That's not a brand.
Nope.
It's a generic logo that says you sell houses, but it doesn't tell me who you are. And what a huge miss. Go back if you're just for some reason starting at
Right.
3 hours and
74 minutes and 3 years later. Go back and see why. But that's not a brand. And people are like, oh, I have a brand. What's your brand? Here's my logo. Absolutely not. Tell me about you. You are your brand.
Yes.
You are your brand.
The human
Right.
being, the person.
Yes.
your logo goes on your marketing,
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
but your branding is more.
Way more.
It's
Mhm.
you. It's what you give off. It's what's out there for people to consume. Like
Yes.
that's
Yes.
your brand, and that's when people say, "Oh, that's so on brand for that person. That's so on brand." We're not talking about your logo.
No.
We're
Correct.
talking about, oh, that was so something that person or that company
Would do. Yeah,
100%.
100%. That's exactly what it is. That's crazy. I hope y'all are taking notes for real, because
This is good.
I know a handful of y'all that have had these conversations with me recently about logos and branding, and I urge you to step outside the box that you've put yourself in, and just watch what happens. You will start
Next
to
on
grow.
Bravo.
Yeah, seriously. Listen, I do want a TV show.
Okay.
Segue. I want to do. Well, I don't want to. Well, don't steal it, but I want to do Homo Improvement.
Home Alone?
Homo Improvement.
Homo
Oh,
improvement.
Homo
Yeah.
Improvement. I said Home Alone.
Yeah.
Homo Improvement.
No,
Is
I
this
just
the Home
want
Improvement show?
a group of LGBT allies, veterans, just building houses and fixing things and
Okay.
showing the whole real estate process, like more than just the HGTV, like fixer upper.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
fixed your house. Like, no, I want to see the whole thing. I want to see what happens on the other side and this side and how they get to the table. I don't know. It's a thought. It's a dream. I have a lot of those
I
thoughts
want to
and
be
things.
executive producer. I want to be a
Yeah.
part.
I feel like you should definitely be a part.
Deal. Yeah, you'll be the real estate office that we use exclusively.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it kind of goes hand in hand with Marshall and the USF Bulls thing. I
Yeah,
think
exactly.
that's
You got this thing. Yeah.
similar.
You got it.
you know.
I don't know that I would. Some placement.
Be
maybe.
careful.
I'm just gonna put these away.
Put them away. Put them away. Those are dangerous.
Dangerous.
Back to the red book. I'm in. What
I'm
else
back
do
to
we
the red
read?
book.
Now
So
we-
let me ask you
now
this
we've
though,
been
before we
drinking so much.
before we
I
get
know,
to the
right?
red book, if you let's just put you in a scenario real quick. I think in my head I was thinking this earlier. If you were to have a new agent that came to you, right, and you vibe with them, you like them, like, oh yeah, I definitely hire them, and then let's say in that interaction you got a certain vibe, and then they kind of don't match that later on, like. What would you do to coach them into like, hey man, like let loose, let yourself go, like be yourself. Like what tips would you give someone either in that situation or just someone who knows that they are quirky and they're this and they're that and they're just afraid to let that
You
shine?
could tell it's not happening for him. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Okay. So
And go.
first off, with anybody on my team, new, old, whatever the case may be, we're all about being together. We're all about this is not a pitch just for $3, by the way, but every Friday at 4:30, as long as you're not doing money-making activities, as much as we're all independent contractors, but as much as I can demand you do something, at 4:30 we meet here. 'Cause our office is right down the street. So we
Right.
meet at Three Daughters, right on the other side of the bar over here.
Yep.
And I get to know them. So it's an easy thing for me to do in that type of situation. If I see something happening and I'm like, well, that's not you, or this is not working for whatever reason, it's easy to wait for a moment. So in radio, I was taught to listen. Right? The art of listening is gone.
Right.
People are thinking about the next thing you're going to say. It's always the next thing you're going to say. It's always, people miss so much. Good, bad, and different. You miss so much because I'm like, oh shit, I've got something I want to. I want to say something to that point. So in radio, I sat back and listen. You gotta listen and see what happens, and then you can reply appropriately. And sometimes it's fun to listen because people will just talk themselves into corners, and then if you're in an argument with somebody, just shut up for a second.
Right.
Yeah.
Let them talk themselves into a corner. That's my favorite because you're saying one thing and then another thing and another thing, and none of it matches up. So, when I'm with our people, I sit down, listen to what they're saying to me, watch how they're interacting with other people, and go, sorry. No, then that's it. That's your moment.
Yeah.
Did you see how you talk to that bartender?
Right.
That's who you are. So why, when you're doing fucking ring rings, you sound like a robot? This is who you
Ring
are.
rings.
So true.
So just be you.
Your ring rings.
Your ring rings.
You know what just came to mind, and I don't know. This is in the depths of my brain.
Wow. It got sparked.
I don't know.
He
Like
touched you.
I was there. You touched me. Maybe that's what it was. It was when I was in like my private school. There was this. Yeah, I went to Baptist private school for half my life.
I'm so slow today. It's taking me like 10 seconds.
I don't know if you ever heard this song, "This Little Light of Mine." You remember that song? I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine.
Yeah.
Let it shine. Let it shine. Don't dull your own light. Don't put out your own candle. I think I'm guilty because I put out my candle I put my candle out for 22 years.
Well, we talked about that at the beginning of our podcast.
Let me tell you,
put your candle
it
out.
takes a toll on you mentally. You may not think it, but it will take a toll on you mentally. It wasn't until about 3.5, 4 weeks ago when I got my blood test and everything done through my buddy who owns this Evolving Vitality. He explained it to me. We were in the military together. He is just a beautiful human being, man. And him and one of my other good buddies that I deployed with started this company. They were talking to me about just health. And in my head, I'm thinking, I'm healthy, I'm fine. I'm not really, I don't have any ailments, I'm doing all right. I don't get sick often, but just get checked. Just get checked, because you never know,
You were
right?
burning the candles at both ends.
Yeah.
And it's crazy when you take the time to look inward and let yourself go. Because I could have sat there and been like the rest of my family and been like, I'm good, man. I'm totally okay. And nothing's wrong with me. I'm 75 to 78 years old, according to my blood work.
Right.
And that's because of high stress levels. And what's bonkers to me is I don't feel like I'm stressed because the way that my brain, the way that I function is, I relate it back to things that happened when I grew up, things that happened in my past life, things that I went through before coming out, whatever the case may be. And I go, oh, my job's not that stressful. Like, this is not that bad. I need to chill out. Like, this isn't stressful at all. But I was told, you know what? Your stress levels have been so high for so long that your body is now adjusted to that level of stress, and that's your new norm. That's why you don't feel the difference. It's like, I don't feel it mentally or emotionally a lot of times, but physically, it's taking a toll. So I'm telling you guys right now, if you're playing this, I like to call it the chameleon. If you're just the chameleon and you just want to mold and adapt to everybody, that's fine. But be conscious of what you're doing. If you're doing something like that and you're like, "Ooh, God, this feels weird. I'm totally not vibing with this person," or "This is not really what I'm doing, but I'm just gonna do it anyway." You got to be conscious of that, and you got to shut it down.
Right.
Because over time, that will build up, and that will create the stress levels that you probably don't even know you have, and it's going to start causing issues mentally, emotionally, in your relationship, in your business. I mean, in the business is huge because I've worked with so many brokers, and it's crazy how quick the agents can pick up on something's off here, something's not right, It's one thing to wear it on your sleeve, but what are you doing? What are you doing to adjust? What are you doing to adapt and evolve and become the person that you really know that you should be, regardless of what the outcome's going to be with your business? Like, it's going to end the way it's supposed to if you do the right things.
Right.
I think sometimes it's just giving yourself grace. And
Grace,
I think we're
that's a
really
good word.
bad at that.
That's a good word.
We take so much to heart, so much personal, and we got to do this, and we have this, this regiment and all this other shit going on.
Yep.
That we forget that we are human beings who need love, affection, shit outside of work. When shit goes bad, look, we have all had deals that go bad.
Of course.
Whether it's your fault or not. And sometimes it is your fault.
Sometimes it is.
Sometimes it is, yeah.
And then in those moments, those are learning moments, and you give yourself some grace. And as soon as you give yourself some grace, then you can start feeling a little bit better about yourself. You go,
Yeah.
Okay, look, man, I am human. Look, I'm a perfectionist of perfectionists. I want everything to be perfect. I just do. I want every client to feel exactly the same, perfect. I want every client to feel loved. And we give so much of ourselves, so much, that sometimes you have to remember you do have the ability to give yourself grace.
Yeah.
And that is okay.
Yes.
You know? And then you were saying if you're in a situation that you don't like or you're not meshing with somebody, you have every right. Every single part of your being knows what you're supposed to do. It doesn't matter what somebody else thinks you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Do it.
Right.
Take the risk. Figure it out. It doesn't mean it's not going to be messy. That doesn't mean that there's not going to be, a backlash. For every action, there's a reaction. So know that things are going to happen. But at the same time, you've got to be unabashedly you.
Yes.
That's the title.
Be you.
Yeah.
And that means you're in charge of yourself.
And whatever you is, just be you.
Be you, man.
If you is tattoos, you is
You
you is.
is.
If you is, if that's what you is,
If that's
what you is.
That's who you is.
No,
Look,
it's
if you're wearing a name tag, cool. That's fine.
Yeah.
fine.
Don't wear a name tag.
Put in a
Some
yeah.
people say that, like,
No.
I wore my name tag to the grocery store and somebody asked me, and I'm like, I really want to know, like, did anyone actually close a deal from someone that they met at a grocery store with their name tag on? Like, maybe they had a
I would have to
conversation.
imagine they did.
I'm sure they
Like
could.
one?
I'm sure they have.
Well,
Yeah.
there's no comment.
Comment
But,
Comment,
but
yeah, seriously.
And again,
if you did.
it's just one of those things. I don't know why it's such a trigger for me.
Yeah.
I
The
don't
name
know.
tag?
I don't know. Because
It
I
sounds
feel
so
like maybe it
corporate.
puts you in a box.
It does
like
put you,
it's
yeah.
like it puts
No, I
you
think
in
it
this
does.
box that I'm a realtor.
Ta-ding.
And it's like, oh, okay. I mean, that's great. But that'd be like the same as me saying, did the guy holding the repent sign on the side of the road ever save anybody? I don't know. I mean, I think,
Right.
if that's what you want to do, good for you.
Sure.
Yep.
Sure.
But I don't know what is the effective. What is in my mind? I'm like, what's the rate of return on
What's
that?
the rate of
Like,
return?
The rate of return on
I
that.
don't know.
Yeah.
So, but
How many souls have you saved?
How many souls?
How many souls? Oh, Mortal Kombat, your soul is
Yeah.
mine.
But my thing is,
Get over here.
But I just, again, the name tag. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna be like, no, I'm gonna
Yeah.
do this over here. I'm gonna be real nice about
He
this.
doesn't like
Your
me.
name tag. I'm like, well, no, trust me, lady.
Doesn't like my.
I love you, honey.
Yeah.
Like lean in and see. Oh, okay, cool. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Melvin at Fairway.
Right. If the writing is
You know,
I
so
feel-
anyway.
I
I
feel-
don't know, man.
What are you?
You nailed it.
Great excuse. I'm like,
Right.
Reading your name tag.
I was reading your name tag.
Reading your. Oh, you're in real estate.
oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
man,
okay.
Sasha. I
I think, man, I really think you nailed it though with the box thing. Like, don't put yourself in a dang
Oh,
box,
God,
And this is personal opinion. For me personally, when it comes to like your social media and things that you're doing, I don't know why I get irritated. And this obviously, this is not to anyone specifically. So if you have this, it is what it is. But I think it irritates me when someone's Instagram name is like so-and-so realtor.
Oh.
So-and-so realtor, or realtor this person, or realtor with your, I don't know. To me, like before I even get to know that human being, I mean, you're a real estate partner for life, right?
Me, yeah.
Like, but I don't know. It's very different when you're a real estate partner for life. Like that stands for something bigger. But I don't know. I feel like when you're like, hey, realtor, John Smith is your Instagram name,
Jesse Kage, man.
Jesse Cage.
Well, then,
Oh no, that's
no,
perfect.
that's-
No, that's
okay.
that's not the username. No,
You know why we do that?
that's a search. That's a
searching.
yeah.
Okay.
That's
That's
all
search
But it's
optimization.
at Jesse
So,
Cage. At Jesse
when you
Cage.
see
Can't
mine,
see this.
like right, when you see mine, when you see Jesse's Instagram, right? Mine's just at Melvin Ray. It's been
Yep.
like that since forever.
Yep.
That's my Xbox gamer tag. I mean, that's been my name forever. And Ray is my middle name. I can go in there and change it, put Melvin Ray, mortgage guy. Like, I don't know. To me, that feels like you're already selling to me, and I
Right.
don't really want to know you. But it's different. Like I have Melvin Ray Bermudez, and then next to my name, I have Fairway Mortgage, right?
Underneath.
Underneath,
Like
like
your-
my
yeah.
Underneath, yeah.
So that is like that's search optimization for
Yes.
those that wonder.
Yeah.
Google typically can only typically it's querying either your username or your real full name. So I did that. So if someone types in Melvin Mortgage,
Querying.
Melvin,
Whoa.
Melvin. Yeah,
Wow,
listen,
we are just.
I am
there's a
queer.
lot.
I am
God,
querying.
You're querying it.
Let's be queer, okay? Let's be queer about it.
Let's be queer. queer.
Let's be queer about it.
Real queer.
Querying is the next podcast. We'll be able to ask you
Querying.
questions.
Yes.
I like that. Just ask me questions.
Querying.
Querying.
We should do a live one day. That'd be fun.
People want to be
Yeah.
in the audience when we do these, so
That
I
would be
think we
fun.
should.
Yeah, we could do
open
that. We
up
can
at
make
some
that
point.
I'll be in the audience certainly.
Oh.
But no, I mean, like, I don't know. For me personally, I think that's always, as soon as I see an Instagram account like that, I'm like, oh God, they're going to try to sell to me. They're going to try to buy. So like, there's just this negative annotation for me personally, and I don't think I'm the only one that feels that way. You know, so I think it's very important to have your name somewhere in your username for sure.
Your name?
You know, but
Checks out.
you know, like
You
it's
are
just
who you are.
you got to think of how people are going to look for you too. You know what I mean? So a lot of people do these nicknames. You know, you have a Jeep. I use this joke all the time, but it's like, you know, Jeep Lover 27.
Right.
Cute, but like I don't know who you are. And then
Cute.
Jeep Lover 27 typically puts their real name as some nickname too. So like when you go to find them on Instagram, you can't ever find this person. And if you think people aren't trying to find you, a picture, a video, some sort of like tangible something for the person they're about to spend the most money they've ever spent with in their life, you are mistaken.
Yeah.
They will
You know, and
find you.
and this is not to be rude, but I know a lot of my old school realtors who've been doing this for 20, 40, 30, you know, whatever, how many years, right? They use that as a crutch and it drives me up a wall. I've been doing this for 40 years. I've never needed it. Well, that's great. 40 years ago, things were a lot different than
Right.
now. You know, what you
They're
didn't
running
need
cave
then.
walls.
Is that a QR code?
Yeah, like, you know what worked then does not work now.
Hey,
You know what I
realtor.
mean?
Buffalo.
So, again, I was very strategic in picking my shirt today for a reason, because I do feel like you do need to evolve. You know, if you are not evolving, if you're not constantly growing, if you're not constantly adapting and overcoming, you know, you're going to get left in the dust. You're going to wonder why so many people are doing better than you. I get this a lot of times from people. How come the young guys are doing so well? I'm like, well, look at them.
Yeah.
A lot of them are just out there networking, socializing, making friends, making relationships. They're not going about it the old school method of like cold calling and
Oh, yeah.
hoping you answer and hoping you get connected. Like they're like, no, let me take you out to lunch. Let's go walk around the beach. Let's go do this place. Let's go whatever.
Let's go do life together.
Let's go do life together. Let's
That's
let's share
the best.
experiences. You know, for those of you that want to ease your way into this and you feel like, oh man, you're speaking to my heart, you know,
Feed photos.
start Feet Finder. I just want people to make some money off that stuff.
Some money.
You know, but like, take to your social media, take to your Instagram and start sharing those life moments, start sharing those experiences. A lot of that stuff you can share in a story, it disappears in 24 hours, but it still gets it out there. You know, one thing we talk about all the time in our coachings is, you know, I have to make a conscious effort to watch someone's story. I can't get mad that I sat through the 500 things that they put on their story because I
did
chose
that.
to do that
I
because
did
I'm
that
not
to myself.
interested in that human being. Another thing I took from a podcast in the last couple of weeks is, you know, human beings are most interested and intrigued by other human beings. You know, so like putting
Unless you
those
like cats
putting
better.
those elements into your social, putting those elements of your real life into your stuff is huge. And someone just yesterday told me this, and you know, I wanted to just deep dive into it. I'm like, why do you feel that way? But you probably heard this too, like, oh, I don't really have a life.
Ah,
Bullshit.
Yeah.
You have a life. Everybody has a life. You're putting yourself in a box. You're putting yourself away because you think your life is not interesting enough. This particular person I know has a life. Beautiful human being. They have a Rottweiler just like mine. When I found out they had a dog like mine, and that was it for me. I was like, oh, we got to hang out with the dogs. You know, like,
Cute.
that is a life. You may not look at it that way, but you need to change the way that you think. What you're doing on a day-to-day basis, that is your life. What you're doing with your family. If your family is your life, if your kids are your life, that's your life. You have a life. People are going to relate to that. When you hold that stuff back and all you're putting out there is the beautifully curated content that makes you look like you have a perfect family, we all have those friends we watch on social media like that. Dude, that's not true. They were just about to get divorced yesterday, and now
Right.
they're the happiest family on earth, taking family photos with Santa, and like, we know from behind the scenes, right? But like, you're mistaken if you think people aren't always looking. They're always watching. Mike Wazowski. Always. Always watching. Mike Wazowski. Always watching.
I was like, is that a realtor? Who's that?
That should be a shirt for our social media.
Yeah,
But no, I
cartoon
mean, like,
character.
let it go. Let it go. I'm hitting you with the Disney today. Like, let it go.
Oh my gosh.
Let it go. You know, like, just let it go.
Also, if you feel you don't have a life, that's the problem.
That is a problem. That is a problem.
Like, we should probably address that first, then
Yeah.
versus like how you're gonna show your life on social media. But like, if you're working so hard that you're not taking time for yourself or your family or your
Huge.
life,
Huge.
you have nothing to relate to people. I mean, people can't relate to you over real estate alone. They have to relate to all these other pieces. And if that's something, maybe spend some time doing that, because we talked about we want some actionable items to talk about today. So
spend some time.
What's something in your life that you can really feel comfortable sharing with everybody else? Like, what is it?
I was telling KJ this morning, you know, one of my favorite brokers I've ever worked with in my life. He's just an amazing human being altogether. You know, I'm helping him out with his social media and getting some things spun up, and you know, he shared some personal stuff last night for the first time, sent me a text, and you know, picture said, hey, is this, like, what do you think about this? And I see it and I go, immediately I'm like, wait, I didn't know you had goats. Like, you have a farm?
Yeah.
Like, you know, that's
You
the
know
stuff
who you
that
are
people
now.
that's the stuff that people are, you know, want to connect with. Like me personally, I've known this person for a very long time, and I never knew those pieces about his life because it was never shared. You know what I mean? And a lot of people are scared to share those moments because they're like, well, what if people don't like that I have a farm? What if people don't like that I have this? What if people don't like that I'm out doing this? You know, and to that, you know,
What
you
did
know,
we say? They don't like it.
yeah,
Fuck them.
yeah.
I'm like, I'm on it.
So,
yeah.
yeah, no,
Say
it's
that one.
seriously, you know, really, that's really what it boils down to. You know, I think, you know, I don't want to keep you guys, we'll wrap it up here shortly, but I don't know, I could go for days on this. But, you know, one thing.
Well, there's more episodes.
There are more
You
episodes.
could talk about it on a different one.
You know, man, I had a place to go with this, and I really I was going to ask you a question. Now my brain just went bloop, bloop, bloop.
We were talking about
I just
goats.
let it go.
Yep, there's goats, and you never knew about goats with this guy.
You didn't know about them.
You never knew goats existed.
Goats.
I showed you a goat.
He is the goat.
Holy shit!
He's the goat.
There's goats. There's goats. There's goats.
Let it go.
Let it go.
That was a bad joke.
Oh no!
And it got worse.
This is us. This is us. What's really great is like people are probably going to see the transition of us like holding back at the beginning and not holding back. You know, episode 4.
Well, these
only on
beers are
4.
high octane, so.
I know. So yeah, we're gonna wrap it up. But you know, I
we have
think
some stuff to give away. Do you want to?
we do have some
Did you
giveaway
think of your
stuff.
thought? I'm sorry.
I'm trying to think of my thought. I really want to get my thought out there.
Metacognition is hard.
It is. It's very tough. I don't even know what word you said, but I just.
I had to throw in a big word. You guys said big words.
What did you say? Metacognition?
I did.
Is that part of like
The
Facebook?
ability to understand that you're thinking.
Oh.
Yeah. Because
Wow.
you know, humans and a few other species have it, but not every bit.
Oh, look at that.
And right now, the logo, the more you know.
Oh no. Oh no. Really testing my editing skills now. You're pushing my editing to the extreme here.
Use your imagination.
No, but I mean, to close it out, I think, you know, there's a lot of power in being authentically who you are, whatever that is. You know, if that is curse words, if that is tattoos, if that is, you know, certain brands, certain colors, certain look, be the look that you want to be, you know. Be the person that you deep down know that you want to be, and just let it go.
Being that.
Work towards being that. Yeah, you know.
More of that every day.
At the end of the day, you're going to get so much more quality interaction and engagement out of being that person. And not only that, the quality of your life will go up, your mental state will change. I mean, a lot of the things that stress you out will no longer stress you out because you're just like, this is me, take it or leave it. You know what I mean? And what's crazy is most of them won't leave it. They're going to take it because everybody else is out there being fake and putting on the show, putting on the filters, putting on the fake, you know, backgrounds and the fake this and the fake that. They're doing the fake money thing with the fake cars and the fake houses. And you know, people can see right through that nowadays. And if you can be the opposite of that, your business will definitely grow.
Are you going to show me spinning in here in the Jeep with
Probably.
Testament playing?
We're gonna make you redo. We're gonna make you redo that. Like while you were peeling in.
I don't know. I don't even know if this is your flavor, but for some reason, when I think of you, you know what track comes to mind?
What was that?
Coheed and Cambria.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes, absolutely.
We're gonna have to play that for later.
Yeah.
I don't know that.
We can put that as the opening intro.
I heard banjos from like the river,
No.
and I'm like,
Not
that
banjos
doesn't-
from the river.
It doesn't feel
I
like
can see
them.
you can feel that for a second by that description.
That's
I
hilarious.
was like, I don't get that vibe from Jesse. No.
But no, we do have some giveaways. I don't remember my thoughts, so we'll just say that for another day.
Right.
But yeah, we're gonna be. I kind of picked this hat because it's cool. But yeah, no, we've got some stuff, y'all. We got some
We got a
stuff.
pink one.
We'll probably put a gift card in a hat. But yeah, we're gonna have some giveaways. We're gonna do that like we always do on our Instagram. We'll make sure that we announce that. for everyone.
We're actually recording
anything-
the winner from the Levin Brewery.
true.
Levin Brewery.
Levin.
Can't say the freaking
Levin.
word. Brewing. Levin Brewing. It's not brewering. That's what I try to say
brewing.
sometimes.
We're out here brewing. I'm a brewer.
Brewing.
I'm a brewer.
Business is brewing.
Business
Depending on how many
brewing.
beers you've had.
Yeah. It could
But
sound
yeah,
the
we'll take care of the giveaways. We're super excited. It's our first special guest. Again, we're gonna get better as we go along with this. I hope you guys took something from this.
there's so many.
We appreciate Jesse, and I love being a part of everything that he's done. I love seeing how he's grown in this industry, which is absolutely insane in such a short amount of time. And I think sky's the limit from here. If you guys can adapt those ideas, just kind of lean into who you are, what you're about more. With the understanding, you may scare some people away with anything, but you're going to gain so much more.
Right.
If I could make like a guarantee, put a guarantee logo, that's what I would do, because you can definitely
Guaranteed. Or your money back. Except
Or your money
you
back.
don't need any money to do that.
no, it's no money. It's just let go, and let your let your freak flag fly. Man, that's a
Wow.
tongue
Say
twister.
it one more time.
Let your freak flag fly.
Yeah, man.
Flag fly.
Fly.
And if I may,
Do it.
if you're doing videos, you're doing things that you're just curious that you want somebody to take a look at, dude, at Jesse Kage on Instagram, I would be more than happy to look and be like, yeah, that's cool, or else it sucks.
Right.
Same.
But you know what? It's not gonna suck 'cause it's you.
You. It's not gonna
Yeah.
suck 'cause it's you.
Aw.
Yeah.
Or call me. My cell phone. Where's my no? 727-742-9694. That's my
Should
personal
go
number.
this way.
Got
Do you
it.
have any questions, comments, concerns?
Comments, no
You know,
concerns. No
Whatever.
concerns.
Watch for you OCD people, because it's me.
Ooh.
Tie my shoe real quick.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Shoe
It
is
was
tied.
It
bothering
also
me
brought
a
me
little
back
bit.
to when I was in middle school, LimeWire days. Oh, Napster. Oh.
What? Did he say middle school?
Yeah, man, that hurts your soul a little bit. But, all right, cool.
On that note.
It's real good.
On that note.
Real good. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah,
Yes,
no,
absolutely.
appreciate
Thanks
you.
for being
We
on.
love
Invite me
you.
back. I love drinking and talking.
Me too.
Same.
Me too. More to come next episode. We're working on securing a location for that, so stay tuned. But it's going to be a lot of fun. We're working on some new content, new ideas to talk about. We'd love to hear from you guys. So if you want to shoot us a message, DM at Re_Brew on Instagram. Everything will be in the show notes for you guys. Jesse's Instagram. Everything we talk about, we'll always make sure that it's notated in there. But we'd love to hear from you guys on topics that maybe you want to discuss, or maybe some controversial things that people have told you to try or not to try that you don't know what to do. KJ and I are here to help as well. If you have any questions, want to get into this, don't even know where to start, even if it's as simple as I don't even know how to use Instagram. I just
Right.
made an Instagram account. I just did whatever. Get with us, let us know. We can hook you up and make sure that you're well taken care of. And we'd love to be a part of your journey. And in the same sense, let people be a part of your journey. Stop holding back. Let people take the journey with you, whether that journey is through your business, whether that journey is through your weight loss goals, whether that journey is through your health accomplishments. Let people be a part of your journey, because that will build such better rapport and such stronger relationships, because they have something now to relate back to. So don't hold your journey back and hide it. And don't just don't disappear and then just one day pop up and look like a different human being. That's what's going on there.
Yeah, what happened to you? Where'd
Let
you
them be a part of your journey. So with that, you guys have anything else?
go? I'm good.
Good. We love you all. I'll do like the Hadouken thing.
Hadouken!
Like just a flame ball.
We
Just
do this one?
like it's gonna like the
Perfect. And see.